files finally went public, thousands of pages. But when people opened them, they didn't see answers. They saw black lines, missing pages, names covered, entire sections removed, and some documents that were expected were simply not there. If the public was promised transparency, why does so much still remain hidden? In the next few minutes, we'll break down what the 2025 Epstein file release actually revealed, and why the missing information, the redactions, and the unexplained gaps have made this case feel even more confusing than before. When the Epstein-related documents were released in 2025, many people expected clear details, but instead, a large part of the files were heavily redacted. Some pages were partially blacked out, others were almost completely unreadable. Officials stated that redactions were done to protect victims, private individuals, and ongoing legal matters. But the level of redaction raised questions, because in some cases, even basic context was removed. Names, dates, locations, and even full paragraphs disappeared. This made it difficult to understand what was being described or what connections existed. And it leads to a bigger issue, because in some cases it wasn't just redacted, it was missing. One of the biggest concerns was that the release did not feel complete. Some documents that people expected to see were not included, and certain parts of the file collection appeared unclear or unfinished. There were also repeated references to documents, evidence, and communications. But not all of those were shown in full. This created a strange gap, because if a document mentions another document, and that second document is not available, then the timeline becomes harder to verify. It becomes impossible to confirm what happened next. And that takes us into the most confusing part of all, the timeline itself. The Epstein case is built around timelines, flights, appointments, meetings, schedules, travel records. But even in the 2025 file releases, key details remained unclear. Some documents contain lists and logs, but without full context. A name may appear, but with no explanation of why. A date may be listed, but with no clear description of what took place. Investigators have released information over the years, but the public record still has gaps. And those gaps raise questions, not because they prove anything, but because they prevent clarity. And when clarity is missing, people naturally wonder what else hasn't and been revealed. That leads directly into the final issue. Even after the 2025 release, the most important questions remain unanswered. Who exactly was fully investigated? What evidence was confirmed? Which leads were followed and which were dropped? The documents provide pieces, but not the full picture, and many names mentioned in public discussions are not clearly explained inside the files. The result is a case where information exists, but meaning is missing, and the lack of explanation creates a fog that still surrounds one of the most talked about criminal investigations in modern history. Next, the 2025 Epstein file release was supposed to bring clarity. Instead, it revealed something else. A record filled with missing sections, unclear timelines, redacted details, and unanswered questions. The case remains open in the public mind, not because of new evidence, but because so much still cannot be verified. And in a case like this, what's missing may be the most important part of the story. Fade out.